Hey everybody, hope you had an awesome day today. Of course, we had a great day today here at the Tea Garden Historical Society. We want to say thanks to everybody who showed up here today. All kinds of great folks showed up to talk history. We had a few donations made today. All kinds of awesome stuff going on. Again, every Monday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., come on down here to 4205 and a half McCracken Road, Tea Garden, Ohio, 44460. Check out the weekly display. And even if you don't live in the Tea Garden area, you can still support this historical society by watching our videos on social media. All right, so let's go over this week's display. All right, we're going to check out some American Civil War items here. Of course, that's a huge topic. Everybody loves the American Civil War topics. Let's see what all we got here. Let's start in the front here. We got some Civil War bullets there from the Gettysburg Museum of History. Bought these off of Eric Dorr. We even got him to autograph the book here. Of course, you might have seen Eric Dorr in all kinds of different shows like Pawn Stars, maybe American Pickers. Of course, if you're ever in Gettysburg, make sure to check out his museum, the Gettysburg Museum of History. Yep, Civil War bullets. All right, a little bit of information here about the Second Manassas Battle. Of course, I think this book has several battles in it. So if you ever come down to the Tea Garden Historical Society, definitely check this book out. You can look all through this, see all kinds of information about Civil War battles and other battles in history. Great book right there. Another awesome item right here. We got a CDV photo. Of course, that one there. Ulysses S. Grant. Of course, native of Ohio. General in the Civil War. And of course, an American president. And then we also have all kinds of information here that comes from the American Battlefield Trust. If you ever want to learn more information about any of the American wars that have gone on, look up the American Battlefield Trust. You can find them on YouTube, Facebook, of course, most social media sites. All kinds of great information there. So thanks for watching so far. We're going to keep showing some of the items we had on display here. Again, every Monday, come down to the Tea Garden Historical Society. You can see the different items we have on display. Of course, you can always find information upstairs about Tea Garden area, Columbiana County, and of course, the world. All right, on the second table here, we have some information here about our great-grandfather, Arthur Henceroth, and some old newspapers. Of course, some of these items here collected by the family in the past. We got some Native American arrowheads and some pieces and some chunks off of some flint right there. Of course, awesome stuff. You know, people love to try to find arrowheads back in the day. Maybe people can still do that today. Of course, an awesome rifle there. Super cool. Of course, today we had a guest, Scott Gallo, came in here today, and of course he told us all kinds of information about this rifle that we're seeing right there. This is a Flowbert rifle, made as early as 1845 up through the early 1900s. Super cool, super old gun right there, octagon barrel. This would be what they consider a parlor gun. This would actually shoot a powderless cartridge, and so people would actually shoot these guns indoors. Of course, maybe it'd help to have a couple drinks first, get the gun going, but super cool. It'd be nice to get this thing fixed up one day. Maybe see how well it works. Give it a shot or two. Super awesome. Again, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. A little bit more information here about our great-grandfather, Arthur Henceroth. A couple dog tags here. And of course, the cross on the other side there. These were carried by Arthur during World War I. Yeah, he was over there in Europe. Of course, here's some of the money too from Europe that he brought home with him. If you ever come down to the Tea Garden Historical Society, you can look up these pieces nice and close. You can feel free to check these things out. Again, we appreciate everybody watching so far. Super cool. Keep an eye on all of our social media sites. We always put all the videos up so everybody around the world can see this stuff. We want everybody in the world to learn about Tea Garden and of course and beyond. So let's keep checking some of these items out. Old newspapers. You've probably seen this one in a couple other videos in the past. A newspaper from the London Gazette, 1670. Now let's check out some of the digitizations. And of course, money. Yeah, super cool. Who doesn't like money? Yeah, so let's check out some of the foreign currency we got going on here. And American currency as well. Of course, we got some Canadian money, Jamaican money. And some Mexican money there, donated by Michelle Dominguez. Some Czech money there, probably brought home by our older brother Nate. Of course, he used to live over there. Super cool. Egyptian money. If anybody knows anything more about any of this money, feel free to comment below. Let us know what you think about this. Old pennies there, of course. Super cool. Of course, earlier today we had Scott Gallo stopped in, told us all kinds of information about the rifle, and he put some of his items here on loan. So all kinds of cool coins there, super cool. A couple of them are from the 1800s. Again, anybody wants to check these items out, come on down to the Tea Garden Historical Society. Some British money up there. Of course, Jesse and I have spent a little bit of time in England a couple times, playing music, rocking out over there, super cool. And then there's a couple items here that we're still looking to get digitized. Old phone books, directories, super awesome. You can get tons of information out of these things. Tons of genealogy information. There's 3 tax stamps right there, donated by Marge Sponsel. Of course, we appreciate all these awesome donations. Everybody's supporting the Historical Society, super awesome. We're gonna keep working hard. Every week we're gonna have a different display out here. Anybody has any questions, get a hold of us on social media or come out here on a Monday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Again, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Have a great day.